Discover 80 classic leadership quotes that stand the test of time.
Vision and purpose. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Warren Bennis. The very essence of leadership is that you have to have vision. You can't blow an uncertain trumpet. Theodore M. Hesburgh. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. John C. Maxwell. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. Ronald Reagan. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams. The task of leadership is not to put greatness into humanity, but to elicit it, for the greatness is already there. John Buchan. A good leader leads the people from above them. A great leader leads the people from within them. M.D. Arnold. The most powerful leadership tool you have is your own personal example. John Wooden. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. Simon Sinek. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." Lao Tzu. The function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. Ralph Nader. To handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. Eleanor Roosevelt. Leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It is about one life influencing another. John C. Maxwell. The key to successful leadership is influence, not authority. Kenneth H. Blanchard. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go but ought to be. Rosalind Carter. Leadership is the art of giving people a platform for spreading ideas that work. Seth Godin. The greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. Benjamin Disraeli. Leadership is unlocking people's potential to become better. Bill Bradley. The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. William Arthur Ward. The best executive is the one who has sense enough to pick good men to do what he wants done, and self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it. Theodore Roosevelt. Resilience and adaptability. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. Douglas MacArthur. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The leader adjusts the sails. John Maxwell. Anyone can hold the helm when the sea is calm. Publilius Cyrus. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King, Jr. A good leader takes a little more than his share of the blame, a little less than his share of the credit. Arnold H. Glasow. The challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not bully, be thoughtful but not lazy, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, have humor but without folly. Jim Rohn. Leadership is not about being the best, it's about making everyone else better. Unknown. The art of leadership is saying no, not saying yes. It is very easy to say yes. Tony Blair. A leader is one who sees more than others see, who sees farther than others see, and who sees before others see. Leroy Imes. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. Ronald Reagan. Leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. Dwight D. Eisenhower. The price of greatness is responsibility. Winston Churchill. You don't lead by hitting people over the head. That's assault, not leadership. Dwight D. Eisenhower. A leader is a dealer in hope. Napoleon Bonaparte. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. Simon Sinek. The day soldiers stop bringing you their problems is the day you have stopped leading them. Colin Powell. You manage things, you lead people. Rear Admiral Grace Murray Hopper. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. John F. Kennedy. The supreme quality of leadership is integrity. Dwight D. Eisenhower. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go but ought to be. Rosalind Carter. Empowerment and team building. As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. Bill Gates. The growth and development of people is the highest calling of leadership. Harvey S. Firestone. Outstanding leaders go out of their way to boost the self-esteem of their personnel. If people believe in themselves, it's amazing what they can accomplish. Sam Walton. Leadership is lifting a person's vision to high heights, the raising of a person's performance to a higher standard, the building of a personality beyond its normal limitations. Peter Drucker. Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Jack Welch. A leader isn't someone who forces others to make him stronger. A leader is someone willing to give his strength to others that they may have the strength to stand on their own. Beth Revis. The role of leadership is to transform the complex situation into small pieces and prioritize them. Carlos Ghosn. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. Ronald Reagan. A good leader is a person who takes a little more than his share of the blame and a little less than his share of the credit. John C. Maxwell. I start with the premise that the function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. Ralph Nader. The best way to lead people into the future is to connect with them deeply in the present. James Cowses and Barry Posner. The key to successful leadership today is influence, not authority. Ken Blanchard. A leader's job is not to do the work for others, it's to help others figure out how to do it themselves, to get things done, and to succeed beyond what they thought possible. Simon Sinek. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. Sheryl Sandberg. The most powerful leadership tool you have is your own personal example. John Wooden. Great leaders are almost always great simplifiers who can cut through argument, debate, and doubt to offer a solution everybody can understand. Colin Powell. The ear of the leader must ring with the voices of the people. Woodrow Wilson. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." Lao Tzu. Leadership is not a position or a title, it is action and example. Unknown. The highest of distinctions is service to others. King George VI. Innovation and change. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Steve Jobs. The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is to act with yesterday's logic. Peter Drucker. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. John F. Kennedy. Your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart give yourself to it. Buddha. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates. The only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible. Arthur C. Clarke. Leaders think and talk about the solutions. Followers think and talk about the problems. Brian Tracy. The important thing is this: to be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could become. Charles Dubois. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. George Bernard Shaw. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Marcel Proust. Leadership is about vision and responsibility, not power. Seth Berkley. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. Albert Einstein. Great leaders are willing to sacrifice the numbers to save the people. Poor leaders sacrifice the people to save the numbers. Simon Sinek. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Warren Bennis. The art of leadership is saying no, not saying yes. It is very easy to say yes. Tony Blair. You don't have to hold a position in order to be a leader. Henry Ford. Become the kind of leader that people would follow voluntarily, even if you had no title or position. Brian Tracy. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Martin Luther King Jr. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Which of these quotes is your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. By the way, some of the quotes fit into more than one category, so we had them more than once. Did you recognise any?